On July 14, Zomato, one of the hottest internet startups in food and restaurant domain, is launching its IPO. In this video, I will walk you through the basics about company's business, competitive strength, and future growth prospects so that you can take an informed decision on whether to apply for IPO or not. Let's do a quick rewind to 2015, life before Zomato. It's Wednesday, mid-work week. Your wife tells you, "Hey, I'm totally tired today and isn't in mood to cook. Can we order food from restaurant?" You search for nearby restaurants on Just Dial, get the contact details, and dial one of the restaurant. Maybe the call goes unanswered or is busy. After a few attempts, you are able to connect to the restaurant. You ask for a menu. You are completely blind to the various dishes that are served by the restaurant and what is the specialty dish from the restaurant. The person at opposite end tells you about few menus and you place your order from that list. You nevertheless won't get the full menu list because of obvious constraints of ordering over the phone. You won't know if the person at the opposite end has correctly captured your order until it arrives. You also won't know the time it will take to deliver that food to your premises. You won't be able to track your order real time. Also, more or less, you will have to stick to the restaurant that you have already been familiar with because you won't have visibility on the quality, price, and hygiene factors from different restaurants. In short, ordering the food from restaurant was an hassle in itself. Now let's do a fast forward to 2020, live with Zomato. You open the Zomato app in your mobile, browse to the restaurants within your nearby location, make the informed decision, check the reviews about the restaurant, price, best dishes, hygiene factor, etc. You select the restaurant, browse to the menu. Select the dishes of your choice, pay the money. You can also leave the voice instructions for convenient delivery. And bingo, it's done. You can also track your order real time. It's hassle-free, quick, and fast. So friends, warm welcome to you all in this series on the Zomato IPO analysis. My name is Milind. Before we start, couple of disclaimers. The companies covered in the stock analysis series are by no means a buy or sell recommendation. These videos are created purely for educational purposes, and idea is to present you with the basic facts about the company, its products and services, moats and competitive strength, and quick run through on the company's financials. An investor is further expected to do his or her own research before making a buy or sell decision. An investor should study the annual reports, listen to the con calls, study the credit reports so as to gain better understanding on the company that will enable him or her to take an informed decision on the investment. So with this disclaimer, let's start analyzing Zomato. So let's start with the business model of Zomato. Zomato is food internet technology company connecting restaurants with the people wanting to dine out or order the food online. What are the different services that it provides to the restaurants as well as customers? Let's see. So food delivery. Customers can order the food online and the food delivery service provides food straight to the customer homes with just a few clicks. Dining out. Customers can search for restaurants, write reviews, upload images, and make payments. There is a loyalty program called Zomato Pro. Here, customer can pay upfront membership fee and then they are eligible for discounts on the orders that they are placing using the Zomato. And then there is a Hyperpure. where Zomato supplies ingredients and kitchen products to restaurant partners. So these are the various services that Zomato is offering. Now let's understand what is the revenue model of Zomato. Zomato gets an upfront platform fee for listing restaurants and commissions thereafter for orders. The platform is also used as an advertising platform by restaurants and to engage with the prospective customers. It also provides the business support services to restaurants like analytics and dashboard, table reservations, and payment processing. A subscription program called Zomato Pro, where a user can access exclusive deals and discount by paying an upfront membership fee. And then another interesting addition to Zomato's revenue model is Hyperpure, where it supplies fresh, hygienic, and quality ingredients directly from farmers, producers, mills, and processors to the restaurant partners. So these are various revenue model of Zomato. Now let's get the IPO details. Issue is opening on 14th of July and it will close on 16th of July. The issue size is rupees 9,375 crores and the price band is rupees 70 to rupees 76. Now let's see who are the Zomato key stakeholders. Customers, of course. It has approximately 10 million customers, that is 1 crore customers that have ordered food every month in financial year 2020. Restaurants, it has approximately 1,60,000 active restaurants partners in December 2020. And it has approximately 1,31,000 delivery partners in fiscal year 2020. So customers who order the food or who wants to dine out, these are one of the stakeholder. Restaurants which provide the service to the customers by providing the food online or by or for the dine out customers, and deliver partners basically who collects the food from restaurants and delivers it to the premises of the customers. These are three key stakeholders for the Zomato. Now let's do a comparison between Zomato and Swiggy. So Swiggy is a close competitor with Zomato, and both these companies more or less are sharing the equal market share. So Zomato is approximately in 526 cities. Swiggy is also approximately greater than 500 cities. Zomato has 1,60,000 delivery partners. Swiggy also has more or less the same. The restaurants that are sign up for delivery are around 1,32,000, whereas Swiggy has more than 1,50,000 restaurants. The Zomato revenue in financial year 20 was around 2,605 crores, which was approximately 2,800 crores for Swiggy. Hence, both these companies are making losses, and Zomato's losses in FY20 was around 2,400 crores, whereas Swiggy's losses were around 3,800 crores. Zomato has 40% market share, whereas Swiggy is 47% market share. So essentially, it's a duopoly which is being dominated by these two companies, Zomato and Swiggy, with the market share of around 45% and 47% respectively. Now let's see what are the future growth levers for Zomato. As per Ambit's Capital report, restaurant food or food service accounts for only 10% of India's spend on food. And hence, there is a massive growth tailwind due to the urbanization, convenience, increasing choices, and also due to the pandemic-led disruptions. The people are working from home. The lockdowns are preventing people from going out and dine out. So there definitely are these growth tailwinds which will get explored and which will get capturized in coming financial years. The post-pandemic area could further increase the rate of formalization due to a focus on hygiene. There are luxury restaurants that have flocked to delivery platforms to stay afloat. Right? So before pandemic, the delivery restaurants were not partnering with Zomato or Swiggy. But because of the lockdown constraints where people are not able to dine out, these restaurants are forced to tie up with well-known brands like Zomato so that they can keep afloat themselves and they can continue serving the customers so that their revenue model is not impacted. A lot of other players have merged in the past. You might have heard the name like Tiny Owl, Tasty Khana, Food Panda. But most of these players has either been purchased by Zomato or its competitor Swiggy. And now, as I stated, it's a complete duopoly market which is being dominated by Zomato and Swiggy. What are the weakness or the competition? The industry is highly competitive, and Zomato is a major player. Swiggy is another major player. And a discount game from Swiggy to increase its revenue can further compromise Zomato's market share or its basically the profitability in future. Mind you, both these companies are still making losses in India. In the red herring prospects, the company has said that it is expecting cost to increase and the losses will continue to be significant given that it is trying to invest in the and basically advertising and sales promotions, developing the platform, expanding into new markets in India, and expanding delivery platform network. Right. So it is expecting that the losses may continue for another couple of financial years or maybe more. And all these efforts may be more costly and it may not result in the increased revenue or growth its business that Zomato is targeting. So these are kind of the challenges or the competitions that Zomato is facing in the market. Let's take a quick look at the financials. So in FY21, Zomato's revenue was around 2,100 crore and its losses were around 816 crores. It has increased from 487 crore in FY18 and the losses were 106 crores. Between FY20 and FY21, there is a degrowth in revenue, obvious because of the pandemic-led disruptions and lockdown. People were concerned about ordering the food from outside in the in the first quarter of FY21. However, the losses have narrowed from 2,400 crore in FY20 to around 800 crores in FY21. Nevertheless, the company is still a loss-making company, and that is the fact that you need to understand. As per the reports, it is expected that between financial year 20 to financial year 26, there is a revenue CAGR of 21%. So there is a lot of potential to increase the revenue in next 5-6 years. The India market is still under penetrated. The only factor that needs to be monitored is if the company is able to convert its revenue into the operating profits and net profit, and how soon it will be able to do that. Some statistics. Average MTU, basically monthly transaction users, those were hardly 9 million, that is zero point 0.9 million, that is 9 lakhs in FY18, which has been increased up to the point up to 5.8 million. So basically approximately 58 lakhs. Active food restaurants has increased from 33,000 in FY18 to 1,33,000 in FY21. So these are definitely a massive growth. The number of users transacting, the number of active restaurants getting onboarded onto the platform, those have increased exponentially. Its mobile application is the most downloaded food and drinks application in India for last 3 to 4 years from 2018 up to 2021, both on iOS App Store as well as Google Play. Its average order value has increased from 2064 rupees, has increased from 264 rupees to approximately 400 rupees. What is the average order value? Basically, the amount spent by the customer for one order. So if there are three customers, one paying 200, another paying 300, another paying 400, then the average order value will be 300 rupees. 200 plus 300 plus 400 divided by 3. So it means that the customers are ordering more and more on Zomato and the order value is also increasing, which is a good part for these, food app companies. Now let's see, is company worth an investment? It is India's first initial public offering by a consumer internet platform. So it's a unique of its kind. The company is still making losses and it is still seeking a rich valuation. This is the concept which is new to the Indian markets. This kind of internet giants have listed into the abroad like US and the Western world. And despite of the losses, they have got the good response. But this is something a unique of its kind in India, where the company is seeking rich valuation despite making losses. However, as I stated, the shares of similar businesses abroad, you know, have done well in the past few years, riding high growth in revenue and customer numbers. Although some of them are still making. Will you invest? That's a $1 million question. My take is you will have to make your own narrative. Do you think Zomato can defy all odds and justify its lofty valuations? Or do you think the optimism is unwarranted? You have to take the call, my friends. Read the red herring prospects, assess your financial risk profile, and accordingly take the call whether you want to apply for the Zomato's IPO as well as whether you want to become a long-term investor in Zomato post the listing. Thanks a lot, friends. Please like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel and happy investing.